Hi, kids. Heidi's here. She's back. It's been over a week since my last video. I think I'm just getting kind of lazy. Sales are starting to pick up, but that was a very discouraging winter. But they're starting to pick up, and I'm trying to go to more different thrift stores. I have a lot of thrift stores to choose from, but I tend to get into the habitual ones where every Tuesday I go to these and every Wednesday I go to those, and I get a senior discount and everybody's happy, except I'm not finding enough stuff. So I have to change my sourcing strategy. I'll let you know how that goes. I'm going to have to drive a little more than 4 miles from home, I think. Next, I'm going to be looking at my pricing because I want to make sure I would rather sell the stuff than wait another year for an extra $5. You know what I mean? And I'm going to look at whether I want to keep promoting on eBay at such a high rate. I really don't think it's paying off. So I'm going to go back down to where I used to be in the 5 to 7% range. And, I'm also getting used to Vendu. I've just got a few more things to do where I'm linking my Poshmark listings, the URLs in there. If you're a Vendu user, you know what I mean. When you first import, you have to go put the website URLs for all the other items that you import for the other platform. Anyway, I'm enjoying Vendu though. I like the automatic sales detection, and I like having one place where my inventory information lives. I won't get rid of my own spreadsheet, but I'm going to cut down how much information is in it. And I think that's all I'm planning on doing. So can I show you a couple needlework updates first? So the last time I went thrifting, I found 100% cotton. It's a very heavy twill. So it was pretty, you would wear it like a jacket, not a blouse. It buttoned up the front, and I took all the buttons off, and I'll put them in my button bag, because you never know when you need 5 buttons like that. And now I'm disassembling the shirt. I could just cut it apart, but while I'm watching TV with Kurt, I enjoy seam ripping. I know, that's weird. You just don't poke yourself, though. I have a really high-powered seam ripper, and you could, get a bad injury. But I'm disassembling the shirt, and here's why. There's enough fabric here. I'm going to use this for the back of a needlepoint pillow. Can you imagine what the front's going to look like? Well, let me show you. So I'm reading a book. Let me get the book. So I found this book on eBay for like $3. Free shipping. It's crazy how the booksellers, I don't know how they make any money. The New York Times Book of Needlepoint. It's old, but I read some good reviews on it. And 1973, which is, my time. I was a junior in high school back then. But what it does is it's divided into chapters, and each one teaches you a new stitch. And so I thought, okay, I can learn some new stitches. But what it's having you do is you start with a canvas that you grid out like this, and then you put each stitch in one of the boxes. And then you end up with a sampler. Let me show you one of theirs. Mine are going to be cuter. So here's some of theirs. This one's blue one is all done, and this pink one is only partway done. So sampler, see? And they had all kinds of ideas about how you should choose your colors, to which I said, nay. I like to use whatever colors I like to use. And I want to use this for the back. So you can imagine what I'm planning. And I'm really not planning very far ahead. So for canvas, I had a needlework kit that I bought for like $2.99, and it was hideous. But needlepoint kit. So it had a piece of canvas inside and a whole bunch of wool. Yay. But I didn't like their design, which looked something like this, but I cut off part of it. So I'm working on the other side, and here's my first 2 sampler squares. So they had you do brick stitch twice in 2 different colors and 2 different patterns. So isn't that fun? Brick stitch. And I did it in a kind of a flame pattern. So far, it matches. I'm going to do each of the stitches that it teaches me in each of the squares in whatever colors I feel like, but I'm trying to follow the adjacent hues. Like, if you'll notice, I did a blue pink. Where am I pointing? Right here? No, this end. I'm terrible backwards. Do you see how the blue goes into the pink right there? Well, that's what I did with this. Pinks and purples. Right there, see? So I'm going to try to, I'm going to try. And then I'll turn it into a needlepoint pillow someday. I think I'm going to do the background and the edging in black. But maybe navy. You can put your opinions in the box below, but don't include the opinion. You're crazy and have no taste. Because I'm not a fan of that opinion. So here's an update on this. Look, it's a leaf now. Huh? Yeah, it's really coming to life. I have 2 leaves. And here's something else fun I did. I made myself a needle minder out of a button. So a needle minder is just a place where you can, when you're working, I wouldn't do it to store it, but when you're working and you need to set your needle down, you just tap it on there and it sticks because it's magnetized. And I made this out of 2 rare earth magnets and a button because I save buttons. Isn't that cute? It looks kind of like stitching, the button does. So I'm going to make more needle minders and maybe give them to people that I know stitch. Here's another fun button from that same set. Looks like this. I'm going to give that to one of my daughters, I think, because they look like cross-stitching. Needle minders. Who knew you could make them out of magnets from Tractor Supply? You can also order them on the internet. Okay. Oh, the last thing I did, needlework related. Sorry, we'll get to the reselling in a minute. This is one of the pitfalls of needlepoint. So I made a needle book. My needles were all stored in packets that were torn, and I had mixed up sewing needles and embroidery needles and tapestry needles, and so I made this little book. It's very crudely done, but I used a button because I collect buttons, and it is just pages made of felt. So there's my tapestry needles, and there's some chenille needles, and these are embroidery needles, and some more embroidery needles, different size, and some beading needles over here. Oh, sorry. And some curved needles. And somewhere in there I had some big whopper tapestry. I think I might have put them somewhere else. So that is my needle book. Isn't it cute? Oh, there's tons of people that make just this. Been hours. I spent 15 minutes sewing that together. I sewed it by hand and it looks like it. Anyway, okay. Now would you like to see some reselling content? Let's see. Oh, I hope you don't get overwhelmed by the plaid. So this plaid, it's very heavyweight, beautiful 100% cotton. It's Duluth Trading, and it's a size 3X. I'm being very picky with Duluth Trading anymore. 3 or 4 years ago, I loved it. I would find it sometimes and sell it quickly and for good money. But as Duluth Trading opened more and more stores, it started selling even a little better because more people became aware of it because they hadn't, for some reason, had never ordered it in the catalogs that they used to send out. So more stores are spreading across the country, more familiar people with Duluth Trading. It's selling better. And then all of a sudden it started hitting the thrift stores and it getting more saturated. And now most Duluth Trading isn't worth picking up for resale because it's getting saturated. But this, as I said, is a 3X women's tunic style flannel. It's got a cute seam across the back, and it's just really heavyweight, beautiful. You could definitely wear it as a jacket over another tank top or t-shirt or something, but I'll probably get 28 to 30 for that. So that was worth it. Another brand I'm being pickier with is J. Jill. I like this for the pretty embroidery, the pretty sage green. You can wear this and this, you can wear it year round, but very nice for spring. And it is also a 3X knit tunic top. J. Jill. Very pretty embroidery. I have no idea what I have here. So here's the brand. I paid 20% off of $7.99. So I don't know, it's $5.50, $6. The brand is Hannibal Laguna Style. And then it was new tags. Hannibal Laguna Style. No price tag on it. Very well made. It's got a little metal branding thing on the back. What is it, Heidi? It's a cardigan sweater with some cable knit and some bird seed stitch and, just a mixture. Some waffle down here. Very soft. I thought, please be cashmere. It's kind of a pinky beige. It is acrylic and polyester, so I kind of went, oh, that's probably nothing. But then I Googled it. And right now, the only thing this brand is selling are ball gowns. Really, like big, fancy, formal ball gowns. The runway shows are typically in Spain or Venezuela. The ball gowns go between $2,000 and $4,000. Will anybody want a sweater by that brand? You tell me. Was that just stupid? Is it so obscure? I mean, I'm only going to ask like $35 or $40, even though it's new with tags, because literally there's nothing for sale. No, I'm sorry. That's a lie. There's a couple men's pieces that have for sale and have sold, but this is clearly woman's styling. Did I make a mistake for $6? Hannibal Laguna. And apparently that's the name of the person, the guy. The designer. I wish I'd found a ball gown, but I didn't. Here is a good old staple. I'll probably get 18 to 22. It is a Nike golf. Where's the Nike? A Nike golf skirt with some pockets. Still got lots of stretch. Make sure that. And it is an extra large. Pretty cobalt blue. Wrong season. But you can always sell a really good Christmas sweater with sequins and beads, right? But what if it has cats? What do you think? What'd I pay? $3.79. Cats. Okay. I know. The brand is nothing that you need to know about because it's not one of the big ones. But even if you don't have one of the good ones, brands-wise, if it's got cats, I think it's worth a risk. Here is a poncho, a wrap. It's a Kemi and Kin, which, as we know, is sold at is an Anthropology brand. There it is. It's the little wreath-like thing. And one of my daughters has said she'd like to try it on. So it's just a big square eyelash wrap kind of a thing. It does not have side seams. It's just a big square wrap. It's a blanket that you can put over your shoulders. That's what it is. So she wants to try that. If not, then I'm going to get like maybe 30. Here is a cute little knit dress. Toad & Co. size large. Just below the knee. Cap sleeve. Very nice for summer. People can wear that, You slip that on after you've gone for a hike and you look like you're all dressed up, but you're still wearing organic cotton. And you can go into town for lunch. Okay, now I went to a different thrift store yesterday, which typically is so much vintage that you just have to resist. And I didn't resist entirely, but once in a while you also find amazing things, and I don't really know why. And so I got two amazing, two vintage pieces that I should have resisted, and a couple just ordinary purchases. But I was there for 2.5 hours and only found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things. So it's a slog. But this is the place where I found the Coach vintage handbag, and I thought it was one of the so-so Coach things, and I didn't want to put any work into it, and it turned out it was like a $75 Coach thing. So you can, so anyway, this store is a lot of work to go through, and I try not to go more than once a month because it's a lot of work. But I found this. So they were having winter coats and jackets 50% off. And then there was a star that said, ask first. Apparently a lot of people were saying, it's a coat. Yeah, but it's not a winter coat. And this one, she told me, is a spring or fall coat. I wanted to say, what about summer? But I didn't argue because it was a pretty good price for what I'm getting. So what did I pay for this one? Usually they just do short sleeve, long sleeve, pants, shorts. They set a price. But for the coats and jackets, for some reason, this wasn't marked as a long sleeve, $4.99. It was marked $5.99. But not on sale because it's not winter. Okay? You got all the rules, Heidi? So what is this? It's Eileen Fisher, extra large coat. Cute. So basic Eileen. You can hardly give it away. Good Eileen. I sold an Eileen cashmere last week for $42. Eileen coats. For some reason, you can get money. So it's fully lined, feels cottonish. 90% cotton, 10% inox. Never heard of inox, but the lining is 100% cupro rayon. So, as always with Eileen, great quality. The fabric is woven with a design that looks like embroidery, but it's in the weave. So, a great brown coat in a, what size did I say? Large? Extra large. Perfect. I don't know. I'm going to ask like 60. So here's my vintage mistake, which I always make when I go to this store. You've heard the phrase Canadian tuxedo, which is wearing denim and denim, jacket and jeans, shirt and jeans, Canadian tuxedo. You get it. I don't know if the Canadians appreciate it. Is it a demeaning term to them? I don't think so. But back in the 80s, there was a brand called Lou Magram Collection. Just look it up and you'll see. There's a lot listed and a lot for sale. But, so it's this dirty wash denim. If you know what I mean by dirty wash, it's sort of like there's well, you can tell by looking at the fraying, right? These little distressed things are kind of a grayish. So it's a brownish grayish wash over the denim. And, yep, these are jeans. They are high-waisted jeans with a lot of glam. Yeah. I'm not sure about this inseam, but it is the original inseam. So they're like a straight wide leg. I don't know. These are size 12. But the best part is, or the worst part is, I'm now getting glitter all over my desk. The best part is, there's a matching jacket. Oh my goodness. And this is like a barn coat style. Mistake. This is an extra large and the pants are 12, 14, I forget. But I'm going to sew them together because, it's a set. I'm not going to ask the crazy prices. A few other people are selling this or have sold it. I'm not going to ask $75 or $100. I'm going to go like $55, $60. Oh, Jesus. Put those in a bag really quickly. Speaking of putting things in a bag quickly, I paid $3.99 for this college yearbook. It's called Tower of 1944. Every year they called it Tower of something. It's from Wheaton College. Many college yearbooks are worth getting. You're paying $1 or $2. I paid $4, but usually you're paying $1 or $2 for hardcover books. college yearbooks, old ones. If you find them, I would always comp them. Because if you pay $1 or $2, and you might be able to sell them for 20 or 25, and then you might run into one that's got somebody famous in it, and then it's worth more. This one has somebody famous in it. The Reverend Billy Graham and his wife, Ruth, are both in this. They graduated in 1944 from Wheaton College, just outside Chicago. Or is it in Chicago? I don't know where it is. Wheaton, Illinois, probably. Oh, Lord. Cut that part out. So anyway, there's been a few sold over the last 3 years. One for like $35, one for $125, one for several thousand, but it had been signed by both Ruth and Billy Graham. Mine is not signed by anyone except someone named P. Peterson in the back. They wrote in the back flyleaf to somebody, but nobody famous. But Billy Graham's picture's in here in a whole bunch of places along, and his wife Ruth is in several places, and one is for sale now for like $175. I think I'm just gonna list it for like $49 and see what happens. So somebody tried one on auction and only got $30, but a Billy Graham college yearbook. You never know. This isn't as fabulous as you'd think. This is a faux leather bomber jacket lined in Sherpa fleece, and it's Levi's. This was on sale for half price, so I paid $4, and I'll probably get $35 to $40. It's in perfect condition, because probably somebody bought it, wore it, and their girlfriend said no. So we needed this to go to a guy whose girlfriend says, yes, baby, I love it. Okay? So $35 or $40. It's a good size. It's a large. So what do you think of that? Hey, that's my husband's size. He is off rehearsing with his rock and roll band today, and that's really not their vibe. They do weird 80s and 90s stuff. Here is a nice leather belt. It is Fossil, and I paid $2.99. I like to sell basic leather belts, especially if the brand name is something people have heard of. Fossil. This is soft surroundings. I'm gonna have to slow down on soft surroundings. The prettier, fancier, more jazzed up pieces were selling pretty good for me, but now I think I have like 4 or 5 tops. Yeah, it smells good. The 4 or 5 tops that aren't moving, but this one is just covered with beads. And it's, I don't know, it has a name, Tortola or something. It's a sleeve, a roll tab sleeve. Pretty striped cotton. Somebody will want that for their cruise vacation, right? Haven't found this brand in a long time, by a Spanish designer, and that is pronounced Desigual. Desigual. It's a size small, and on that label it says Dream. And then on a different tag, it says Team. Where did it say? Dream on, Desigual. I'll show the whole thing, Heidi. So it's a striped Henley with a really colorful print, and then some embroidered patches on the back. Desigual, 1984. Probably when it was founded, I don't know. So that said Dream. Someplace else it said Team. I don't know. Ready to Dream. Oh, yeah, Desigual Dream Team. On this little patch down here, it says that. So, I have no idea. I haven't comped Desigual in a long time, but it's very cute and somebody will want it. It was worth a few dollars. This is probably my prize, probably of the year so far. If you ever see a jacket, they're usually men's, but not always, that feels, and you go, ooh, what's wrong with it? It feels waxy or coated. You might have a winner, because waxed cotton is a thing. And there's lots of fancy chemicals, treatments they use now too, but I'll tell you what this process is called in a minute. But some of the most famous wax jackets are sold by Barbour, Barbour. It's an English company, but there are a few others, and I've sold a few in my time. I had one that started with a G, don't remember. That sold for like $175. I had a barber jacket that was in terrible condition. I had to repair it. I had to sew things inside. The lining was coming out. It needed re-waxing, where they basically heat it up, dunk it, take off all the old wax and re-treat it. You can send your coat to the company to do that. I still sold it for $85, even though it needed all that work. But this is another brand that is a barber company. It's WK Backhouse. And right here, I'm so bad, right here in little tiny words it says a barber company. But this then says New Zealand wet weather gear. So it is a black jacket. Can you hear it? That is wax coated. And you can see the marks where the wax kind of bends and gets distressed. It still would be water repellent. This is part of how it looks. So it's hooded. It's got a flannel lined hood with a drawstring. It zips up the front, and it has a storm flap with snaps, and it's long line with big pockets and a drawstring inside the waist. The sleeves have snaps, so you can tighten the cuffs up to keep wet out of your arms. And this is great. And probably there's not a lot of WK Backhouse for sale. I think there were like 9 sold and 1 or 2 for sale. I'm probably going to ask about $85. If it was completely flannel lined, it would be warmer and it would be worth more. It has a flannel lined hood though. But the longer line is also good. A lot of these jackets are like hip length, and this one is below the hip, so yay. This was not on sale. That's more like a raincoat, she said. That's not a winter coat. Honest to God, but people at this place, the volunteers. So I paid $8, but I'll probably get close to $100. So WK Backhouse, but the important name on here was Barbour. Barbour. Whatever you find in Barbour, I would pick it up and see what you can get for it. So, today, what am I going to do? What am I going to do today? Do I have anything to do today? I know I do. So Kurt, as I said, is at band rehearsal. Oh, we're going to Myrtle Beach in a couple weeks. That was last week. Oh my goodness, we're going to Myrtle Beach in 2 weeks, yeah. This weekend, wow, I got nothing. Kurt's got a few doctor's appointments next week, but, we just keep rolling along. I think I'm going to edit this video, post it, figure out what's wrong with my hair. I'm hopeless. And then I'm going to stitch. Because I deserve some off time, right? But I really got to fix my pricing strategy. What's your pricing strategy? Wait and hope for the most? Or mark it down and get rid of it? I don't know what to do. But had fun. I'm glad I came. Shoot. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put on my lip gloss. And I always look so much cuter with lip gloss. Almost everyone does. Dang it. I could cut this part out and put it at the big... No, that wouldn't work. I had fun. I hope you did too. Come back again soon. Well, if I come back soon, I hope you do too. Lord have mercy. Bye, kids.